everybody. How's everybody doing on this Tuesday morning? I am here, which is pretty much all I can say at this particular point. I am broadcasting on both Twitch and YouTube, so I will be probably reading two different chats. So I am saying good morning this morning so far to Jason, No Name, Doubting Tommy, and Fuckwad. I can actually have... assuming no customers show up, I can actually have the whole stream unmuted today. Oh, well, good luck on one aspect, not so good luck on the other, because no customers usually means no money. But, morning, Sir Wolfie, glad you could make it this morning. Morning, Carlos. Oh, I have a Scott in the chat. Hey, good morning, Scott McGinnis. So, it is Tuesday, it is the second day of the week. I did watch a couple of streams from yesterday. Did do a couple of things, even though I didn't get everything I wanted to get accomplished yesterday. I did get one writing commission done. I have got to get one firmly dented into today. So we'll be talking about a little bit of this, that, and the other. I did pop by a couple of streams this morning. One from a social wreck, which was rather interesting. He had conversations about, recent allegations in the wrestling realm about sexual abuse and things of that nature, so we had that sort of discussion this morning. Joggin' Political had his muffin morning, where he was talking to everybody about debating and how healthy it is to debate. Not argue, not yell at each other, not talk over one another, but a really good traditional debate. Yep. Well, he's not out of power yet, but we're going to get to that with the news. I'm going to move that over so you guys don't see me doing the Cuban thing of gesticulating all over the camera, because everybody likes to see the doggy cam. We will get to that. That is in the story this morning. Let's see what else has been going on. Ronan is supposed to be coming home today, but I got a weird phone call because his phone isn't turned on yet. Apparently he called for roadside assistance for his truck. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that gets resolved, because he wants to come home today so he can spend the next 2 days relaxing, tomorrow being Wednesday and Thursday being Thanksgiving. There is a story behind Thanksgiving. I will probably do a little bit digging and research and refresh my memory as to the origin of Thanksgiving, and probably do something, a little bit of that on Thursday as a little extra for the show, instead of the happy fun thing that I end the show with. It'll probably be with a little bit of a history lesson. I hope you guys will like that. Later on today, after I do my commission writing, I am going to be doing research for a couple of different articles that caught my attention. One is going to be for my health channel. The other one is going to be for this main channel here. I am planning on going back to doing my gaming streams on the weekends again, so be on the lookout for that. I am still trying to iron out some iffy stuff in regards to how to get the old-time radio shows back up and firing to where they can be shown in a MST3K format. Even though some of those shows I believe are really good just to sit and listen to, poking fun at them can be a lot of fun as well. So we've got all that stuff out of the way. Let's see if we can get into the news, shall we? So, we are back in the newsroom, and the first story of the day is about a fire that happened in Detroit. So, let's get the news going. Oh, and somehow, and the bloopers started early because, bloopers and shit. Blip. Let me see if that actually works now. Nope. Alright, let's do this. Now it should show up. Yay! Alright. One blooper. Alright. Gas fire in Detroit. Evacuations have been called for after a gas line fire was reported to 911 in suburban Detroit. The fire started Monday night, approximately 30 miles north of Detroit in the Orion Township. The fire did burn itself out, and the township fire chief, John Pender, says the fire was on vacant land. My mic is low. Okay. I saw that. I see that. Let me fix that. My mic is low. come in here, do this. Because, you know, nothing says a good morning without usual problems, right? Alright, playback. Yep, levels. Everything's at 100, so I don't know why it's low. So let's see if we can turn this up a little bit. How's that? Am I sounding a little bit better? Let me see. We have... Oh, there's Nightbot. Yay! Nightbot's working. Hey, Callie. Hey, Wikipedia. So, the fire was caused by a gas line rupture. No injuries have been reported as of this report. So, when I got this news, it was this morning. So, this is still a breaking story. So, as more information comes out, if anything else happens, I'll let you guys know tomorrow morning on the gas line fire. So, next thing on the news is... Yep, pipeline is back in the news. Am I a little bit louder? Am I coming in a little clearer? I'm sorry for the lowness. I don't know what's going on with it this morning because I've got everything turned up, I believe. Yep, everything's on max. Alright, so the second one. Nebraska clears path for Keystone XL Pipeline, challenges remain. So, and what they mean by challenges. Monday, Nebraska regulators approved a route for the TransCanada Corp's Keystone XL Pipeline. Morning, Aposmatic. This puts aside a large regulatory obstacle for the project that has been facing delays by protesters and legislators alike. Morning, Futternut. The future for this project is still in murky waters. Event. Oops. Yay! Even though the 3-2 vote by the Nebraska Service Commission aids in opening a way for the pipeline, opponents of the same project have vowed to continue to tie up any headway the corporation wants to make in the courts. That is not surprising whatsoever. The pipeline will link Canada's Alberta oil sands to refineries in the United States. TransCanada is still looking into the viability of the project as a whole. This comes after a surge in drilling in the United States, which has cut the price for crude oil in half since the pipeline was first brought to the table. The pipeline could be a boon for Canada and its Western oil manufacturers. They've had problems for decades to deliver their reserves, which are landlocked, to the market. 4 days ago, there was a report of the pipeline leaking over 210 gallons of oil, but the leak occurred in the older part of the line and has not, as reports will confirm, caused harms to water tables or the environment. However, TransCanada is being called to task for the cleanup. Dave Flute, a tribal chairman in the area, says the corporation has been open and very helpful in the way they have been keeping in touch during the cleanup process. So that's where we're at so far. I hope they continue and finish the pipeline. This isn't the only pipeline in the United States. These people are crying, whining, bitching, pissing, and moaning about this pipeline when we have dozens of other pipelines running through this country underground without any problems. And it was a few days ago that I saw everybody on the left autistically screeching about the fact that, you know, the pipeline leaked and it was 210 gallons of crude oil and yada yada and blah blah blah, and we told you this wasn't a good idea, only to find out that they left out the very important part, that this was the older part of the pipeline and not necessarily parts of the pipeline that are new. And you know, we're still going back and forth on this. So Canadian transsexuals are looking into this. That's funny, Wikipedia. Yep, as Aposmatic says, TransCanada has been around and active for years. Yep, since Justin came in, they took a look at all of this. That's what No Name has said. Yep, they have. You've got to be able to keep your options open. And if it is more lucrative for you to have a pipeline in order to shunt your crude oil from the oil sands from a landlocked part to other parts of your country, or even our country, so we can refine it and send it back, it's a win-win situation for our country and Canada as well. The problem is with these environmentalists, or well, we'll say quote-unquote environmentalists, because we all know what happened with the protesters in South Dakota who made a larger mess and caused more polluting dangers during their protest than the pipeline ever would have. And if you want a little bit more on that, there are some older videos. Whoops, sorry about that. There are some older videos by Base Mama who goes a little further and deeper into the damage that they caused while they were actually protesting the pipeline. So there is that, and you can look into that. Again, Base Mama, if you want a little more information on that. It's Futternut says the XL that they want to build would replace the old pipeline and prevent this from happening. Exactly. They want to fix existing problems, prevent any more leaks, and they want to make a bigger and better system to shunt these oil sands back and forth to refine the oil so we can have gasoline. Yay! Morning, Ronan! So you're in Albany, huh? Ooh. I got a phone call this morning from roadside service. Were they able to get a hold of you? Jason, a few years ago they were bitching about how dangerous it is to move this stuff by train. I think they just want to stall American production of oil and keep us on the Arabian oil tit. It sure sounds that way, Jason. It sure sounds that way. And some people would probably bring up the oil reserves that we have. The oil reserves are there mainly in terms of importance for the military first and then us, if I'm remembering that correctly. Miss T, what? It's not the only pipeline in the world which is the cause of global warming, the Trump presidency, and misgendering? Exactly, Miss T. And we're doing a whole bunch of that this morning with the new show, and welcome to my chat. Let's see. The next story that we are covering this morning is the latest. Zimbabwe opposition head urges free elections. And this is from a timeline. I pulled these little snippets of information from a timeline. The people of Zimbabwe have gathered outside Parliament as of 2:20 p.m. in that country, that's that country's time, to support the impeachment hearings of Robert Mugabe. Mugabe has been accused of allowing his wife to take power and also of being too old to rule the country effectively. As of the time listed, lawmakers have started to arrive at the building. Mugabe has been leading the country since 1980 when the white minority rule of Zimbabwe ended. Last week, the military was seen moving in after Mugabe fired his deputy and seemingly placed his wife, who is not favored or liked, in line to take his place. It is not clear how long the impeachment hearing will take place. Many say he can be voted out as early as Wednesday. And I got this from my AP app, which is free in your app store. And no, I was not paid to say that. It is free in your app store. So we're still keeping an eye on the Zimbabwe situation to see how that unfolds. Hopefully the person they get to replace Mugabe is going to be more of a boon and less of a detriment. I am going to love to see that and see where that leads. So we do have that to keep an eye on. So, let me see here. So we are still keeping an eye on Zimbabwe. There are other stories that I am looking into. I'm still keeping an eye on the tax reform situation. And in order for me to better explain that, I have got to learn more about the tax code, which is probably going to make my eyes cross more than I have fingers on both hands. Morning, Lenuggets. Yes, I am running the show. And welcome to my chat this morning. So, the next story is going to be about AT&T. So we are going to scroll this up a little bit. Let me see here. The Justice Department on a major typo. So you get to see all sorts of bloopers on my show. That's part of the entertainment. Justice Department sues to stop AT&T Time Warner merger. The DOJ is attempting to stop AT&T's purchase of Time Warner by filing a lawsuit. Morning, Fen. Yep, I was talking about your city without you here, Fen. You're late. You are appropriating my Cuban culture of being late. You need to be here at 10:30 in the morning, dude. This sets the stage for a legal battle on an epic scale. Eyes are now turning to Trump, whose statements have brought into question whether or not he influenced those events. I doubt he did. Trump contends he did not tell Makan Del Rahim, DOJ's antitrust chief, what to do. Even if he did, Del Rahim couldn't act if there wasn't any implications of it being a monopoly. It doesn't matter what Trump says in this particular matter. If it's not a monopoly, it's not a monopoly, and Del Rahim wouldn't have had a leg to stand on. But we're going to continue with the story here. Del Rahim has stated that a combined AT&T and Time Warner would do more harm than good for consumers, which is correct. He went on to say it would cause harm by hiking television and cable bills, as well as possibly hindering new innovations, which include online television services. AT&T has the country's second largest wireless service and provides satellite and cable TV services as well. They do have DirecTV. Time Warner holds ownership to HBO, CNN, TBS, and other networks as well. They also own the Warner Brothers movie studio. Most expect the deal to be approved after the Obama administration allowed the purchase of Comcast's purchase of NBC Universal in 2011. This was after imposing restrictions on the Comcast behavior in order to keep consumers safe. Now, further reading on this story, Comcast has gone back on some of its agreements for that particular thing that went down between them and the Obama administration, so I'm probably going to look a little deeper into that too. Lenugget says, ooh, we built this city. Yeah, we built this city on a monopoly. Yep, most definitely. Let me see. Apostolic Wiki. If it's not a monopoly, no one gets to play it as the thimble. Exactly, apostolic. Exactly. Let me see. Fenrir. God, soon everything will be owned by one parent company. That is what the antitrust laws are supposed to be preventing. And unfortunately, as always, keeps going back to the same story. Since Trump is in office, nothing he does seems to be right. And yes, he was calling out AT&T and Time Warner for this particular merger and acquisition attempt. And if they did, yes, it would be considered a monopoly, which the antitrust department or the antitrust part of the DOJ is supposed to step in and, stop. But, the antitrust laws haven't really been doing anything to prevent this. Morning Rhetorical, they can point fingers and they can say, you have to get rid of this in order to do this first. We're not going to let you do this unless you do this. But unless these antitrust laws are enforced, we are going to have a monopoly, and that monopoly is going to be owned by AT&T. Because, if I remember correctly, AT&T, before they acquired DirecTV, actually had, under Bell South, their own TV and cable service, which they still have. And that TV and cable service actually sucked. That is, it really sucked. My mom still has DirecTV. So, Nuggets. Disney already does. They own most of the stations. They own MTV, a large stock of all food markets. I can continue. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of them out there, and these companies need to be, our government needs to be looking at these antitrust laws, and they need to be enforcing these antitrust laws, because there is a reason why these laws were set in place. We don't need monopolies in this country. We need an open market. We need to be, competing. People need to be competing for our business and not merging together until the only business of choices is one. Fenrir. No, there are 6 parent companies right now. This will make 5, I think. Yeah, well, gonna have to look into that and see if we can find some more information on that. But yeah, I think you're pretty much accurate on that one, Fen. The problem is, the more parent companies there are, or Monopoly is a horrible game, it is. The more these bigger companies start merging into fewer and fewer bigger companies that own all these things, the less free market we're going to have. We need more free market and we need less monopolies, which means we need the antitrust laws to be enforced. Is that where you married to just one person? That's a good one. That's a good one. So, yeah, this is really kind of scary, because I don't want all my entertainment under one roof. I really don't want it under 2 roofs. To me, it needs to be under several companies and not just 1, 2, or 3. Morning, Hunley. How you doing? These antitrust laws really need to be looked at, like I said, and they really need to be enforced, because we can't have 1 or 2 companies handling our entertainment. We really can't. And I know there are other websites and other services that we can go to watch what we want to watch, but a lot of these services are pirate services. And I hate to say that, but it's true. More and more people are handing around pirate links nowadays, so they can watch the shows they want to watch when they want to watch them, so they can watch movies that they can't afford to go see, because let's face it, $10 to $13 per person is just the beginning of what you're charged when you go watch a movie. After you finish buying all the popcorn and the soda and all this stuff, you're looking at a $40 visit for 2 people minimum for movies. So that's getting ridiculous. Not that in my opinion movies seem to be improving any in their quality. To me, in certain cases, when it just seems that when a movie gets to be a little monotonous in its storytelling, they decide, oh, let's blow shit up and make it more exciting. Of course, that's just me. That could just be me. It's Fud or Nut. Did you hear Trump cures cancer, but in bigger news, Trump said grab her by the pussy? What would really make the news? The second one instead of the first one. Yep. The theater, rhetorical. Remember that the theater makes 95% of their revenues from concessions. Exactly. Yep. And I remember working for a convenience store and people would walk into my gas station to buy movie candy and stuff to smuggle it into the movie theaters because the prices were getting absolutely outrageous. Rhetorical also goes on to say tickets go almost entirely to cover the cost of the theater renting the movie from the studio. Oh, so that's interesting. American Vandal. We're probably going to have to discuss that one a little bit later on, Jason. Let's see. Cool. I will take a look at that in a second. Right now, we got to get to...
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
That's right. It's time to shout some people out. So let's get to that, shall we? Video recommendations. And let me see where I've got them. The first one this morning is... And I know what that one is. Blip. The first one this morning is our very own Carlos Castrejo. If you are interested in all things archaeological and very informative, Carlos at every evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I also have this listed below, does a live stream where he goes and dissects articles that he's found about the latest discoveries in archaeology, and he does this in a very interesting and entertaining way. And he does, like I do, he does respond to the chat. He does answer questions, and he does have a conversation with you in the meantime while he is going over the latest information. Now, yesterday's live stream was only about half an hour long. And it's titled For Neanderthals, Growing Big Brains Took More Time, where he explains the development of the latest find of a small child from the Neanderthal period. So that is a very, very interesting watch. So take a look at that and give Carlos some support. Let me see. Inane Dragon takes on somebody who says B17 is curing cancer. B17, for those of you who don't know, turns into arsenic in your system, and they think that this somehow kills cancer. Well, Inane Dragon completely debunks this, and he does it in a very entertaining manner. I like watching his videos. His videos are very entertaining. They capture my attention, and they keep my attention, which sometimes can be a little hard to do with the way my brain flits around from subject to subject, following any shiny thing that tends to pop in its path. But this is a Inane Dragon, and the name of the video is Curing Cancer with Vitamin B17. He also goes through the history of B17, so that's interesting as well. The third one is Run and Guns News. Apparently at YouTube doesn't care about its content creators. Hey YouTube, fix your broken system. He once again addresses the time-old glitch of when you upload a video, you lose subs. Also, other things as well, the demonetization and things of that nature. And he also has a call out to help. Let me see, Linuggets. But arsenic would kill cancer along with you, but that would not be the truth and not false. Yeah, it would be. That would be one of those instances where the cure is worse than the disease. Cyanide, that's right. My brain ain't working. Cyanide, I said arsenic. You are completely correct. Thank you, Wikipedia. I love my fact checkers and my live stream. So yes, correction, B17 turns into cyanide in your system and not arsenic. My brain is skipping a very dire thinking function this morning. Yes, and I saw the one that Jeff Holiday did on that one. Jeff Holiday was responding to someone completely different, though. This is actually the history of B17 and somebody, actually a doctor that happens to be male, that is advocating for it. So this is a completely different person that Inane Dragon is responding to. Doubting Tommy, it would kill all the living cells in your body, thus the cancer would die. Only side effect would be death. Yes, the only side effect would be death. Yep, the cure is definitely worse than the disease in that part, right? Morning, Social Wreck. Welcome to my live chat. Hey, I just subbed to him a minute ago. Yep. Running Guns he's a really interesting, it's a really good channel. He fights against Heart Progress, and he also fights for the Second Amendment rights and keeping our Second Amendment alive and well. He does have a lot of interesting content on his channel. The last one I want to recommend is Starbird Disagrees. Starbird, does NAMBLA really support Antifa? He goes into the little picture that everybody saw where they were holding the banner that everybody was laughing at, and he points out the fact that the Antifa symbol and the NAMBLA symbol were both on the banner, and he further goes into some research as to whether or not NAMBLA actually backs up Antifa. Not that NAMBLA is a good organization in and of itself, but NAMBLA and Antifa don't need to be hand in hand. Fenrir, I don't know. I don't trust a guy that carries a gun and not a knife. That's a good one, Fan. That's a good one. So Starbird is another one that has a lot of really good content on his site. He's very clear and concise, and he's a really good guy to watch too. So that's 4 recommended videos for the day. So we are going to get rid of that for now, and we are going to move into our funny stuff. Where is our funny stuff this morning? All right, let's see here. We've got some memes this morning. Let me see here. Let me find the little page. All right, now I can scroll up here. How did work go? Take a fucking guess. Yeah, I'm probably going to put them in before. Oh, let me go ahead and while you're reminding me of that. Okay, come over here. And yes, that was a little ditty. Alright, edit video. And here we are. Deep bonk. And save changes. Even I need reminders every now and then. The changes should now be down below. Yep, they're all down there now. Thanks for reminding me about that. Sometimes in the morning my brain skips a beat, or 3 or 10 or 12 or 15. So, all that should be down there. So, here we go. Our first meme. How did your day go? Take a fucking guess. Meme number 2. But these are for girls. Holy crap. I look fabulous. Alright, here we go. That awkward sign. You pass after you just picked up a hitchhiker. Whoopsie. How am I still breathing if she has my nose? If I gave you a crayon, could you draw a conclusion? Milo would be proud of those glasses. Yes, Doubting Tommy, Milo would. To-do list. Number 1, go to pet store. 2, buy bird seeds. 3, ask how long it will take for the bird to grow. 4, wait for the reaction. Is it me, or is this vaguely reminiscent of a meme that the Batman would make? I don't know. Sort of kind of reminds me of the Batman. Alright, so we scroll on. Oh, hey! You're home early. The bird landed by my window and stared at me like I murdered his whole family. Good morning, Batman. Say his name and he shall appear in your live chat. So, you're telling me that when it rains, you complain? Math. Mental abuse to humans. Fits. That face you make when the person you hate is talking. I would like a trim, like just the split ends. Oh my God! There is someone for everyone, and the person for you is a psychiatrist. Sometimes I wish I had the wisdom of a 90-year-old, the body of a 12-year-old, and the energy of a 3-year-old. Energy of a 3-year-old. That means you run wide open for 2 hours and nap for 3? Just guessing. Every night is an endless battle between sleep and the internet. When someone says I'm too old for Pixar movies, you got a problem, buddy? Huh? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? You said we'd go lift. I trusted you. They see me rolling. They hating. I am multi-talented. I can talk, annoy, and irritate you all at the same time. You can't see me. I'm a flower. I cannot believe someone froze my apples. Okay, how did it all get onto my live stream? You know, these other content creators get sneaking onto my live stream. Sooner or later, I'm going to figure out how they do this. I really am. Alright, sugar is sweet, lemons are tart. I love you more than a unicorn fart. Alright, I see that is a Valentine's next year. I made a new chip for you. Elsa. Hero, I don't think it's a good idea. Blip. I know. They've become self-aware of how stupid they are. Yes, they have. I don't think you understand, Mom. I need light-up shoes so I can run faster. My sister says you got her nose. You give it back now, and nobody gets hurt. If you want this, why do you keep throwing it? Get the treats. Or I'll pull the plug. Don't be afraid of a few extra pounds. Fat people are harder to kidnap. Chill out, people. I'm handling it. He turns into Elsa. My boyfriend not allowed to hide his phone from me. As long as we're together, it's not an iPhone, it's a Wii phone. And just to be honest with me or stay away from me, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Okay, one more. Meanwhile, in Marvel, Thor is a jerk. I'm sure he can be. And that's the funny stuff for the day. Alright, let's see here. Blip. Live stream announcements, which are now down at the bottom. Every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find our own Rhetorical Entertainment doing Rhetorical Sunrise. The Kumite is at 11, which means it started about 6 minutes ago. And it is hosted by Tonkasaw, and it can be rather entertaining depending on who he has on in the morning. Carlos Castrejo Archeology streams at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jason Brazeal has his pub at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Lords of the Night on Scribe Light's channel. If you wish to submit a regularly scheduled live stream, you can DM me on Twitter with the channel, day and time that you have the stream, and I will include it on this list and shout it out in the morning brew. If you wish to submit a funny article, a cancerous article, or funny memes for me to show on this show in the morning, you can contact me the same way. If you wish to have an invite to my Discord in the morning to continue the conversation with coffee, let me know by DMing me on Twitter and I can DM you the invite. We're always looking for more people to have coffee and chat with in the Discord, and we would like to talk to you every morning. So, and here's my shameless shilling section. You can support me many different ways. You can go to my website and purchase my jewelry, hire me to freelance write for you. Tip me via the PayPal tip link, the Streamlabs link that the Nightbot likes to shill every now and again, and also become a sponsor by going to my website or becoming a patron. So that is my commercial for myself for the day. And we're going to come back over here. And that is my shameless shilling section. That's really hard for me to do sometimes, but I hope you guys find that rather quick, short, and to the point, and not too commercially. But that is the many ways that you can support me. Let me see. No, a sort of scream laugh. Oh my God. You haven't hee-heed yet. Oh, yeah. I love Teddy, but sometimes his hee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Is Teddy in my chat? I see a Hunley, and I said a good morning to Hunley. I'm scrolling up because I saw my Batman. Nope, I don't see a Teddy. I don't see a Teddy in my chat. Make Zeus. I can't make him do anything he doesn't want to do. Boo-boo. Come here. Yes, I know. People want to see you move around. Why aren't you moving? What's the matter, boo-boo? What? You gonna move? You're gonna stretch. And you're gonna roll over. You're gonna roll over, huh? What's the matter, boy? Come on, get up. Stretch. Okay. Too bad the UK got rid of that corner. You'd be shilling for shillings. That would be interesting to see. That would definitely be interesting to see. Yep, I got him to move a little bit anyway. So, as always, my friends, may your coffee or tea ever flow. May your caffeine be ever strong. And may you have a totally terrific Tuesday. Take care of yourselves, my coffee nuts.